Today, we're talking about the Slaytons. Well, actually, we're talking about Amy and Tammy's mom, Darlene. Now, there has been rumbling for years about her terrible behavior towards her girls, and I've always wanted to talk to you guys about it, especially after I caught up with this last season, season 4. Holy cow, Darlene is just the gift that keeps on giving, and by gift, I mean if gifts were words like daggers that cut to the soul. Now, I found this post on Reddit, and it resonated with me immediately. How that woman raised those kids is beyond me. They all turned out to be better humans than their mother. She makes me irrationally angry each time she's on the screen. Her kids all have good hearts, and I'm proud of that. I know a lot of us get irritated with Tammy's awful behavior and her antics, but when you really deep dive into her mom and the type of environment that Tammy and Amy lived in, all I can say is, it kind of makes sense. The more I'm about to show you about Darlene, the more angry you're gonna get, I promise you. And you'll see exactly what I mean in a second. So let's go over it all. The good, the bad, and the ugly. I mean, like the really, really ugly. Now, first and foremost, it's never good that anyone, is so terrified of becoming or acting like their own parents that it will damage their own children. Never. Now, Amy's had some pretty unhealthy and reoccurring thoughts about trying to do the opposite of how her mom treated her and her siblings growing up.
Being a good mom, that's my goal in life. Growing up, I didn't have a good example. I just worry about it, I don't want him growing up and be like, well, my mama wasn't here for me, or my mama didn't do this for me or that for me. And I'm like, I want to give him the best life he ever had. Because we did.
So, how did it get to that point? How did Amy's all-consuming thoughts about being a better parent than what she experienced, what made her get to this point? Well, let's start with some of Amy and Tammy's earliest memories. And for starters, it seems like they had to rely on themselves a lot.
Growing up, we didn't get very much attention, didn't get very many hugs.
And it's important to note that Darlene, it seems like they had to rely on themselves a lot, but it went beyond lack of attention, because according to them, there was a lot of name-calling as well.
There was 5 kids, so our mom worked 3 jobs. We didn't really get much love and affection growing up. It was actually quite the opposite. We got told we were stupid, we were lazy,
Ugly, fat.
Who all was saying this to you?
Our mother, our sisters, brothers.
Now, it's gotta suck when you realize that at a really early age that you really can't depend on your mom, and you have to instead rely on your sibling.
It's always been me and Tammy, me and Tammy, me and Tammy. We always knew that we only have each other.
So from an early stage in life, they did not get a lot of attention from their mom, not a lot of hugs, called a slew of pretty insulting names that minimized their self-worth, and realized that they were not a priority early on. Calling your child pretty degrading names that lower their self-esteem is bad enough. But what if your mom was also your saboteur? Now, this next comment by Tammy may have slid under the radar for most of you, and it did for me the first time I watched it. But I went back and I really listened to her words, and her comments are actually quite tragic.
I feel overwhelmed knowing that she's finally on our side and wanting us to succeed in our journeys and not just trying to hold us back.
I mean, it may sound like a passing statement, but listen to what she really said. Who says that about their mother? Like, this sounds super toxic. I'm glad she is finally wanting us to succeed and not hold us back. I mean, I wish that TLC had expounded upon that statement by Tammy further because I have so many questions about that. Like, so many. And it was also sad when Tammy moved into her home, the house right across from Amy, when she invited her mom over, to celebrate, to let her parents know how far she had come. Tammy was so happy, she was proud of herself, but taken off guard that her mom's initial judgment in that moment was not what she expected.
I was a little nervous. I don't know if she's gonna say something about the way I look or the way the house is.
To hear my mom actually be proud of us has really touched my heart. I'm not used to my mom talking sweet.
The fact that it's almost a cold day in hell when your parent says something nice to you, that they're supportive of you, that really sucks. And it's truly telling. I mean, no wonder these girls are messed up.
I'm a little nervous. I don't know if she's gonna say something about the way I look or the way the house is. Shockingly, she seemed to like it.
So let's read even more between the lines here, because if you feel your parent is basically super judgmental, not supportive, super critical, that's already hard. And then to add to that, the name calling, the put downs, the insults. I mean, listen to what Tammy says about her beloved grandma, her maternal grandma, by the way.
Our grandma, on the other hand, she was basically our mom.
My grandma was so important to me. She made me feel like I was no different from anybody else.
So like I said, once again, let's read between the lines. If her grandma is the one that made her feel like she was normal, then what did her mom make her feel? Wouldn't that be the opposite? That maybe she felt different, she felt unusual, she felt weird? Could it be that? Could it be this?
We got told we were stupid, we were lazy,
Ugly, fat.
So brace yourselves because the next few topics are probably really going to piss you off. I mean, I know I was. Now, this next clip is where Darlene is talking to Amy about Tammy's weight loss success, where she met her goal and was finally approved for weight loss.
I can't believe Tammy's approved.
Yeah, I think she has fought hard enough and showed the haters that she can do anything she puts her mind to.
Ma'am, do you not remember who her biggest hater was? Yeah, that would be, you.
We're doing the bariatric surgery.
I don't think you make it. I think you'll chicken out.
I remember that scene in the restaurant. Tammy was already so anxious, she was nervous, she hadn't been out of the house in like 6 years, so her coming out to this restaurant was a big deal. And people in the restaurant were already staring at her, and she knew it. She knew people were talking about her, and it was still important enough for her to get out of the house, meet up with her mom, to tell her about her plans for her life-changing news and her new journey that she was about to embark on with Amy. I mean, just knowing that little bit of information, you would think your mom, anybody, would be supportive of you in that moment. But nope, not her.
I know when we came in, Tammy was having a hard time, but it would have been nice for our mom to say, "Are you okay? Do you need anything?" But really, she was just sitting there being nonchalant.
I don't know, guys. Is nonchalant even the right word? It's more like silently judging, indifferent. I mean, what's the antonym for supportive? Like, let's go with unhelpful, because that's exactly what I saw.
Hearing my mom say that she didn't think we could go through with the surgery, it's kind of heartbreaking knowing that she's not on our side, but that makes me want to push harder to lose weight and do better.
We gonna prove her wrong.
So fast forward to the part where Amy loses a ton of weight and gets weight loss surgery, and she gives her speech. Darlene, thank goodness, doesn't backtrack on her words and says that the girls proved her wrong and that she was really proud of them.
Some of y'all didn't think I could do it. Hell, sometimes I didn't even think I could do it.
I don't think you make it. I think you'll chicken out.
A lot of what was featured on the show was showing just how absolutely selfish and self-involved Amy and Tammy's mom was towards them.
It's always been that doubt. What if I'm a bad parent?
Amy, you are a good mom because you worry more about others than you do yourself. That makes you a good person. It makes you a good mom.
Amy is petrified of being anything like her mother.
But for me to say I'm a good mom is hard. I just worry about it, I don't want him growing up and be like, well, my mama wasn't here for me, or my mama didn't do this for me or that for me. I want to give him the best life he ever had. Because we did.
And it seems like when things matter, like important events and milestones in their lives, Amy and Tammy have to literally beg their mom to attend. And most of the time, it's like pulling teeth. And it seems like most of the time, she's a no-show.
Sometimes you got to push through the pain and just be where you need to be to support your people.
And I could not agree more with Amanda. Like, how about your daughter's first home? She remodeled and redecorated, and it's a major accomplishment. Amy was so excited to have Tammy and her mom come inside and look at her house.
Y'all need to understand why it's so damn important. Amy's did a big thing, and she wants you all to be proud of her, and she's did a whole lot of work. And she just wants y'all to be able to come in and sit in her couch and just chill and relax.
I wish y'all can go in.
My mom and Tammy, they have a really hard time getting into houses and, different places if it's not wheelchair accessible. And it probably does hurt them. But sometimes you got to push through the pain and just be where you need to be to support your people. And they didn't even try.
So for all my devil's advocates out there, you may be thinking, yeah, it's a house. It's no big deal. Okay, fine. But how about this? How about if you get the same treatment at your wedding? Because not only did their mom not attend Tammy's wedding, but she also didn't attend Amy's wedding. And she didn't attend Amy's wedding twice, believe it or not. The first time for Amy was small and informal, and I believe it was at a courthouse. But also, Amy wanted to have more of a traditional celebration later. And she was super sentimental because she had been nervous to go under the knife and anesthesia for her bariatric surgery that she'd just gotten approved for. And she wanted to do this just in case she didn't wake up. She wanted to have those memories of her wedding. And still, her mom did not attend. So here's the part that sucks. Supposedly, her mom called at the last minute and told Amy that she wasn't feeling well.
So mom called and said that she couldn't make it. She told me that she wasn't feeling good, which I understand, but sometimes I feel like she makes stuff up because she just don't want to go.
All right, so fair, right? You're not feeling well. What are you supposed to do about that? However, rewind a few months prior, and let's go back to when Amy first mentioned that wedding. Her mom was not having it.
Well, you know how you didn't get to go to my wedding? We're planning on another wedding, like a big one this time.
And you think I'm coming in a dress?
No, I didn't say
Oh,
you
okay.
had to. I just said you had to be there.
So who you gonna get to sew you away? Take you down the aisle.
You.
Nah, I don't think so.
So not only was it obvious that her mom didn't want to attend then, but she even shirked about her responsibilities of even going with Amy to shop for her wedding dress. Like, the whole thing was beyond sad to see. And I really felt for Amy, and this, honestly, was infuriating to see.
Do you think you could go wedding dress shopping with me?
No.
Why not?
No, you get Barb to go with you, and it's a lot easier
Well, I mean,
for her
you're
to
my
do.
mom.
I know, but it's a lot easier for them to do it than me.
Like, come on, Darlene. Even if weddings aren't your thing, you can go to some of these activities with her. And if you didn't want to go because of mobility issues, you could have at least FaceTimed her on the journey when she was trying out her dress. Just FaceTime, have someone show you what's going on. I mean, they've done that with Tammy plenty of times, all the time. And seeing Amy cry broke my heart, and her pledge of once again making sure she is nothing like her mom when it comes to parenting is once again evident.
It really sucks knowing my mom ain't gonna be there at my wedding. They expect us to do everything for them, and then when I want them to do something for me, they can't. I'm kind of used to people not showing up for me. It's been like that all my life. Why should it change now?
So for all the naysayers, I should have you guys on my side right now, right? There's no excuses at this point, right? Are you guys as pissed as I am right now? Okay, if there's still some of you out there for the even more hardcore devil's advocates, those who don't think that participating in, your first home or your wedding, if you don't think that's a big deal, then how about this? Not going to attend your daughter's very high-risk surgery for weight loss because you would rather stay at home with your dogs. How about that?
Do you want to go with us?
You know I can't go. I can't leave my babies.
I can have Kevin and Charlene to come over and feed those damn dogs.
And remember, this is a surgery that you've already told her she would never do.
I don't think you make it. I think you'll chicken out.
Once again, it's super obvious that Darlene just doesn't want to go. Her first excuse was not even about her mobility issues, not about not feeling well. No, the first excuse was because she wanted to be with her dogs. And her follow-up excuse to that, it was that if complications happened with Tammy, the family would stay and she wouldn't be able to go home that night. What? Say again? Come again? I mean, listen, the audience is not stupid. Amy tries to school her subtly here, and she kind of mimics what Amy's saying, but still, we all know it's BS.
They'll be all right for one night.
No, it'd be more than one night.
No, I'm only going up there one night.
Yeah, but if you go up there and something goes wrong, then you will stay over. Don't tell me you won't.
Yes,
I know
and you would too.
I know I would, but I got to worry about my babies in there.
That is exactly what she meant to say. And it's almost like this is a burden for her. I mean, it was super disappointing. It was infuriating. It was mind-boggling. It was all of the above. But what's even more heartbreaking is to put yourself in Amy and Tammy's shoes, to know how they feel about all of this. I'm telling you, the behavior of their mom truly pisses me off. Now, if their mom's behavior pissed you off, just wait until you see Amy's ex-husband Michael's atrocious behavior. You're about to find out exactly why they're getting divorced. So click here so we can continue the story.